Of the today's session is first we will talk about what is Blazor, what is WebAssembly, because Blazor is based upon the WebAssembly when it is coming to building the client side Blazor. Then I will tell you about the Blazor WebAssembly, Blazor Server. Then of course I will tell you about what is Angular, what is React. Then I will share here a comparison between these three framework. Even we will compare the features as well. Then I will share a detail about the jobs and the career scope so that you having the complete understanding what are the position right now we having for Blazor, Angular and the React, and you able to take the decision based upon that. So I welcome to everyone again, and I request you to please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. What is the Blazor? I'm sure many people are here already working with the .NET, so you know about the .NET, and I'm sure you heard about the Blazor term as well. What is the Blazor? So when it is coming the Blazor, so Blazor is a combination of browser plus Razor. So how many people are here working on ASP.NET Core MVC? I'm sure if you're working with ASP.NET Core MVC, if you're working with the MVC, so you have used the Razor for building your UI, for building your dynamic website. So ultimately, when it is coming to the Razor, which we use for making our the dynamic website using the ASP.NET Core MVC, same Razor syntax the Blazor is going to use. The benefit is here we are going to run our Razor inside the browser, because before the Blazor what happens, we cannot run the C# code inside the browser. We have to everything run at the server side first, then from the server the complete markup we have to return to the browser, and at the browser level we render the pure HTML. We actually execute the JavaScript. But now Blazor is going to enable the .NET developers to run your C# code, to run your Razor code inside the browser itself. So that's why the name is here Blazor, because now I can run my Razor and the C# code inside the browser as well as we run Angular, as we run React. Because Angular and the React are the client side framework. They are not going to be served from the server itself. So everything we can set up over there in the browser. So these are known as the client side framework. Exactly similar way we can use now Blazor as well. So in Blazor, we are using Razor as a markup syntax. And of course, as a .NET developer, we are using C# over there. So Blazor is a framework for building the interactive client-side UI application. Exactly same way as we are building using the Angular, as we are building using the React.js. The difference is here, you don't need to learn JavaScript, you don't need to learn the TypeScript now. You have to just do focus on C#, you have to just do focus on the Razor syntax, and using the C# and Razor, I can build my single page application. I'm sure many people heard about the SPA, single page application. So when it is coming to the single page application, so how we can build the single page application? Single page application we can build using the JavaScript libraries, using the JavaScript framework. So what are the most popular framework in JavaScript we having? We having Angular, we having React, we having the Vue.js. Without these three framework, we cannot build the single page application. But now we can build the single page application using Blazor as well, using your C# and Razor. So when it is coming to where the Blazor we can run, so Blazor is not limited to browser only. So initially Microsoft started the Blazor to run from the server side. So server side we can run exactly similar way as we run our ASP.NET Core MVC application. But in the ASP.NET Core application, what happens? We are making the request completely to the server. Here, data is not coming exactly in the similar way as we having ASP.NET Core MVC. Behind the scene, Blazor server use the signal R. So through the signal R, we get the data in the packets with the help of messages over there. So here, the interesting part is here, Blazor Web Assembly. So when it is coming to comparing the Blazor with Angular and the React, so Blazor WebAssembly is here always compared. Even Blazor WebAssembly offering us exactly same set of features, exactly same set of things as we having the Angular and the React. Then third option we having the hybrid. So hybrid Microsoft recently added where you cannot run the Blazor only for building the website. You can use Blazor to build a mobile application as well. You can use Blazor to build a desktop application as well. I'm sure many people heard about the MyUI framework. So MAUI is a new framework from the Microsoft that is a next version of Xamarin, which is helping us to build the cross-platform mobile application and the cross-platform desktop application. So if you are willing to use the Blazor also for building the hybrid mobile application, so there Blazor they are improving, or you can say Blazor they are evolving. Right now, Blazor is best suited to use to build a server-side application and to build a client-side application as we build using the Angular and the React. I hope it makes sense now. So now let's understand what is the WebAssembly. Because when it is coming the Blazor client side. So Blazor client side is not possible without understanding the WebAssembly. So WebAssembly is developed by the W3C organization and its intention is compilation target. It means using the WebAssembly any language. It can be C Sharp, it can be Java, it can be C++, can be compiled with the help of WebAssembly sandbox environment and run inside the browser. Even nowadays, if you look at around you, we having the many online IDE, we having the many online sandbox environment. So what are the online sandbox environment we having? What are the online ID we having? They are using everywhere WebAssembly because WebAssembly is going to facilitate us to run our C Sharp, Java, any server-side language code directly into the browser. So WebAssembly just providing us a sandbox environment where we can run our .NET inside the browser itself. So this is about in brief about the WebAssembly. So WebAssembly is helping us to run our server-side language code inside the browser itself as we having the online editor, as we having the online code sandbox. So when it is coming to the Blazor client side, so it use WebAssembly simply. Yashwant, I will tell you about the prerequisite to learn the Blazor. First, let me complete the Blazor WebAssembly part. So this is just look at this picture. And this picture we're looking at, we having a .NET application. So of course, in the .NET application, we having some DLL. So these DLLs are going to be served into the browser with the help of WebAssembly. So WebAssembly is here creating a sandbox environment, which is going to helping us to run my .NET code with the help of .NET runtime here. So what is happening? My complete .NET code is running inside the browser with the help of WebAssembly. And finally, with the help of that, we are updating the DOM. Of course, what are the HTML markup we having? That is a DOM, document object model. So the DOM manipulation we are doing here by running the code inside the browser itself. So if you're looking at here, how the actually browser is going to render the things. Just look at the picture which I'm sharing with you. I hope it is clear to everyone. I'm just highlighting few things so that it will make you more clarity. What my mean is, if you're looking at here in this is a the inspect part of a web page which I designed using the Blazor. So if you're looking at here, we having this Blazor DLL here. If you will look at, sorry, these are the .NET DLL I'm having. So these .NET DLL I'm going to serve inside the browser here. You can see, and here we having the Blazor WebAssembly.js file, which is actually helping me. So whatever the DLL we actually run on the server side to execute the code, same DLL actually we are running inside the browser here this way. So it is the same thing as we having, the Angular and the React, which actually create the bundle files for us. So what happens in the bundle file? In the bundle file, we keep our code, what are the application code we have written, that is a part of our bundle file. Similarly, what are the C sharp code we having? That C sharp code is a part of the DLL. So those DLL are going to be loaded here. You can see it is a DLL for Microsoft ASP.NET Core component. It is a DLL for Microsoft ASP.NET Core components. And we having the DLL for authorization as well. So this is the way the complete DLLs are going to be rendered inside the browser and there we are running it using our .NET runtime with the help of WebAssembly. So this is the idea behind it. So it is exactly same way as we are going to serve our JavaScript library and the JavaScript file in the browser. Same way we are serving the DLL as well. This is the Blazor WebAssembly. And if you are coming to the support, so Blazor WebAssembly is now globally supported by all the latest browser available in the market. So you can see in Chrome it is supported here, in Edge it is supported here, in Safari also supported, Firefox, Opera. So what are the major browser people are using across the world? The WebAssembly supported. And if you know, if you have already installed these browsers, so these browsers are automatically updated. You don't need to update them manually as we have to update in the Internet Explorer. So what the issue we having with the Internet Explorer? In case of Internet Explorer, we have to update that Explorer explicitly. Even now, there is no much difference in the Chrome and the Edge because Chrome and the Edge both are using the same browser engine behind the scene as Chrome is using. So that is Chromium. So Chromium is also used by the Chrome and Chromium is also used by the Edge. So these are the two most popular browser right now. The people are using for accessing the website, for dealing with the website related things over there. Even when it is coming the mobile app browser, in the mobile browser it is supported Chrome, Safari, Samsung Internet. Of course, recently there is an issue with the Opera Mini, but I'm sure in upcoming years, in upcoming months, you will get the support in the Opera Mini as well. And of course, nobody actually mainly accessing the website inside the browser. When it is coming to writing the code, whenever you are going to create the sandbox environment, all the people access the sandbox environment only from the desktop, only from the laptop, only from the bigger screen. Okay, so we don't access the mobile because for the mobile we having the mobile app. So there is not a requirement much, but requirement is for the website. So the website we already having such support. I hope it is now clear to everyone. So guys, I'm sure this image is clear to everyone. It is not having the issue. Now if you're looking at to the next one. So as I said here, Blazor WebAssembly is a always comparable things with Angular and the React. But apart from that, we having the Blazor server as well. So sometimes it happens you are not willing to use Blazor client side, you are willing to use Blazor server. Blazor server also having the benefit when it is coming to, making the SEO friendly URL. So when it is coming the public pages in a website, we having the home page, we having the about us page, we having a product listing. So what happens here, our product listing should be on the Google and Google having a Google bot. So Google bot actually r- crawl our web page and what are the content is there on the web page. So that content Google always index and get the information. This company, let's say this URL is having the listing about this particular product or this particular information is available on this URL. So when somebody is looking for that particular information, your page is going to rank in the Google first page, and it can be in the Google top position as well if it is a unique product in your case. But if you're using the Blazor client side, so Blazor client side means we don't have the information in the browser source code. Even same issue we having with Angular and the React as well. If you are not rendering the Angular and the React on the server side, if it is completely on the client side, so DOM manipulation is going to be done on the fly as we do using the Ajax. So when you will look at the source code of the web page, in the source code of the web page, we don't have much information. So if you want to provide the complete detail about your product, your services, what you are offering, it is especially helpful whenever you are building the public facing pages. As I said, your home page, your product listing page, you having the about us page, contact us page. So these are the public facing pages. We don't need to put any extra animation. We need to just tell to the Google, to the search engine, this is VR and these are the services we are offering. So their Blazor server will help us. Exactly same thing we do in Angular and React as well. So instead of using the ASP.NET Core over there, I can use Blazor server to render my complete web page on the server side and finally give the HTML to the web page. So this is about the Blazor server. So here we having the, if you're looking at, we having the Blazor server.js file. So this Blazor server.js file use SignalR here. And this SignalR actually call the ASP.NET Core API. It can be your ASP.NET Core API. It can be another API. And this is the way how the messages I will get here. It's a complete connected style where we getting the messages from the SignalR, and these with the help of these messages we are rendering the things over there. So this is the data is coming. So it is can be think about as we having Ajax style for getting the data from the server side. Similar way we are using here SignalR, and asynchronously data we are getting in the packets. It is not the case as we having in ASP.NET Core MVC, because in ASP.NET Core MVC the data will come at once. It completely process, complete done the data. Here we are getting the data as we required. Okay, so this is about the Blazor server where SignalR is helping us for doing the things. If you have any query so far, please do ask. Ajit here, when it is coming to running the things into the client side, whether it's a Angular, whether it's a React, whether it's a Blazor, so almost they are doing the similar things. So it's not about lightweight, because the execution wise they are doing the same things. But of course, initial load is high here as compared to the Angular and the React right now. So that initial load you have to manage with the help of lazy loading and by implementing the different things. Because every framework, every library having the style, having a way not to load everything at once, load them module wise. So here also module wise loading we have to implement. Then we can make the first request size smaller so that it will not load everything in one request. Whenever we needed the things, that time it will make the request to the server and load the things for us. I hope it makes sense to everyone. Now let's look at the Angular quickly. So when it is coming the Angular, so Angular is an open source framework. Blazor is also open source framework for building the single page application using HTML, CS and JavaScript. And of course, Angular 2 is written in the TypeScript and it follow the TypeScript syntax to write the things. And using Angular also we can build web application, mobile application, desktop application. So exactly similar to Blazor, we having the Angular also. Even Angular is before Blazor for building these different type of application. Blazor is of course new. The third one we having the React. So React is a JavaScript library for building us, which is actually helping us to build the mobile application, desktop application, and web application. So all the three framework are going to fit in all the three role. As a web developer, you can use, as a desktop developer, you can use, as a mobile developer, you can use. So it does not mean whether you're building the web application, mobile application, desktop application, everywhere all the three framework can be used. Let me share a detail table where you will have the more understanding. Just look at this picture where I have mentioned the things more clear. And make sure guys, I'm not comparing here Angular JS, that is Angular 1. I'm not comparing here Angular 1, I'm comparing here Angular 2 plus. That Angular 2 plus was released in 2016. So if you're coming to comparing the things, just look at this table. So Angular and Blazor, both are the framework. Framework means I can build everything using the framework itself. I don't need to use any third-party library. I don't need to use any third-party framework to build my application start to end. But React is a library. React itself is not capable to build everything. We have to learn many of the library. For routing, we have to use React router. For validation, we have to use for make, we have to use React hook form, and many other libraries we have to use if you're using the React. Of course, Angular 2 was released in 2016 and constantly the Angular team evolving it. React first time was released in 2013. Blazor in 2018 came first time. The license here MIT. Initially license for the Blazor was Apache, but now Blazor is a part of the ASP.NET Core and ASP.NET Core having the license for MIT. So exactly same license are applicable to Blazor as well now. So here language is TypeScript, and for designing the UI we use HTML, and React you can use JavaScript as well as TypeScript. So you have to use only one, either use JavaScript, either use TypeScript, and here we use JSX one here. In Blazor we use C# as a programming language and Razor as a markup syntax. So here these are the things we have in Blazor. In Angular for testing we use Jasmine, here we use Jest framework, here we use BUnit framework, even you can use XUnit as well. So what are the framework we use in the .NET? Let's say XUnit, or you can say the MS test. Similar framework we can use, but for testing the libraries, when it is coming to the testing the Blazor component, the Blazor UI, so there we use BUnit framework. For data binding, here in Angular we having one-way and two-way data binding. React only support one-way data binding. Even Blazor also support only one-way data binding. That is unidirectional. If you're willing to uh, get the behavior of two-way data binding, so we can get the behavior by capturing the on change event, on key up, on key down event. So that is going to provide us same experience as we have in Angular. But by default, we don't have such support. Now let's understand the learning curve. That is very, very important, where people always having the confusion. How to use, where to use. When it is coming the Angular, so Angular you will find out easy. If you're from the background of object-oriented programming language, if you're already a Java developer, C# developer, or any other object-oriented language you will find Angular is easy to learn, because Angular is based upon the TypeScript, and TypeScript is following exactly similar class-based syntax, similar object-oriented style of writing the code. But if you know the functional programming, you are good in the JavaScript, you are good in the other functional programming language like C like language, so we'll find out React.js is easy for you, because in the React.js the people adopt only functional programming style. We don't prefer the class based style over there. Even officially the React team announced they are focusing on the functional style, functional component. I'm sure you heard about the concept of hooks. So if you are good in the functional programming, if you are good in the JavaScript, go ahead with the React. You will find out React easy. If you don't have the idea about the functional programming, if you don't know the JavaScript, you will find out React learning is quite difficult. Similar thing applicable to Angular as well. If you don't know object-oriented programming, you will find out Angular learning is difficult over there. So it's a complete your experience. It's complete based upon what already style you know. If you're good in functional programming, go ahead with React.js. If you're good in the object-oriented programming, go ahead with Angular. Exactly same thing happened with Blazor. If you already a .NET developer, C# developer, I'm sure many people in this session are from the .NET background. So for you, Blazor is a best framework, because Blazor is going to provide everything to build your complete end-to-end full stack application. Now you don't need to learn TypeScript, you don't need to learn Angular, you don't need to learn React, you don't need to learn React many libraries. You have to just do focus on C#, Razor, and Blazor. And of course, ASP.NET Core MVC as well sometime. And using these things, you can build your complete end-to-end full stack web application. So this is about Blazor. When it is coming to the community one, of course, Angular having a very good community support, React also having the things. Blazor is a, of course, is a evolving community, because as I said, Blazor came in the last. If you will see React came in 2013, it came in 2016. Even Angular actually available in the market from 2010. So from the 2010, the people are using the Angular. So when it is coming the Blazor, of course, right now there is a less community support, but ASP.NET Core having a very good community support, because ultimately Blazor is going to support it with ASP.NET Core. If I'm a ASP.NET Core developer, of course, I feel Blazor is easy for me. Even I should go ahead with Blazor. Even many companies are preferring the Blazor now in place of Angular and the React for building their web application now, because their developer already know ASP.NET code, their developer already know the C Sharp SQL Server, so they don't need to put much effort for learning the Blazor as compared to Angular and the React over there. Makes sense to everyone? The virtual DOM and the incremental DOM. Just look at this is the React style where we having one real DOM here, we having virtual DOM. So initially this is my state. So based upon this state, this is the actually DOM is going to render. Now this state has been changed. So we having initially two child node here. Later on we added three. So here I will compare this virtual DOM, the old virtual DOM with the new one. What are the difference we are getting that we will add over there. So here memory consumption is high when we are updating the things over there in case of virtual DOM. But if you're looking at the incremental DOM, in incremental DOM, we don't have the 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 two separate tree and the browser memory. So we having a one DOM at the browser memory, and that we compare with the real DOM one by one like this way. And wherever we find the difference, only that we update. It's an incremental DOM adopted by Angular as well as Blazor for doing the update. So these are the things we having in virtual DOM and the incremental DOM. So memory optimization is better in the incremental DOM as compared to virtual DOM. So this is about the difference, because many people ask this question. That's why I just added this one here. We having the features comparison as well. I'm sure many people having a question. What are the different features Blazor is supporting? If I know already Angular, can I learn Blazor? If I already know React. So we were actually comparing here the Angular and the React features. So I said here, when it is coming to comparing whenever you're looking at any front-end framework or any front-end library, so we actually look at these many features. We look at for component, data binding, routing, we having the forms and validation, services, dependency injection, we having the state management, lifecycle hooks, JavaScript, the interoperability, server-side rendering. So these are the features actually we look at in every front-end framework. So whether it is Angular, whether it is React, whether it's a Blazor, in all the three framework, these many features are supported. Of course, React having some limitation because by default, React is not supporting all the features. But of course, with the help of many library, we can support them. Like routing, we can support using React router, React hook. But of course, services we can build here using the simple class. Dependency injection is not required over here. But if you're looking at Blazor, it is supporting everything, which is supported by Angular to build any front-end application. So if you already know Angular, if you already know React style of working, you will find out Blazor easy for you, because Blazor exactly having the component based style for building the things. Blazor already having the data binding, Blazor already having the routing, forms, validation, all the things are built in over there. So you don't need to look at any of the library, any of the framework to build the end-to-end application. Everything is not available, everything is available as a part of the framework to build anything. Make sense to everyone? The jobs and the career scope. Of course, Blazor is a new technology, so number of jobs right now less. But if you will look at the upcoming years, I'm sure in 2023, many jobs would be created in Blazor. If you're looking at the active number, I'm just sharing only active number, whatever I got at Naukri, LinkedIn, and Indeed. So these are the active number in terms of Blazor. But always remember one thing: whenever a technology is new, whenever technology is in the adoption phase, so that time entry can be done very easily. When the technology became popular, later on, the entry into the technology became difficult. So right now, as compared to the Angular and the React, number of jobs in Blazor are less. but competition is also less, because how many people they know Blazor? So competition is not there. Many developers know Angular, many developers know React, but if we'll ask, do you know Blazor? They will say no. So competition is not there. And this active listing is as per the current month. I'm just sharing with you. Next month, the number will change. Okay. So this is a clear picture. I'm not hiding anything with you. I'm just telling you whatever exact each framework is, so that whatever uh, the thought process you having, whatever the understanding you are getting from my session, you have to take the decision finally. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please do share with your friends and the colleague, and also do subscribe to Scholarhead YouTube channel and click the bell icon so that the information about such video you will get automatically.